internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours in Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. Welcome to the eye of the storm. The markets are tanking. I didn't know I had a vibrator until this morning when my phone vibrated for a minute long because the markets tanked. XRP tanked. But let me ask you something. Tanked to what? $3.25? If that scares you, you've already lost. Because if you think $3.25 is the peak, you haven't been paying attention. This isn't a game for soft hands. This is warfare. And the markets just fired a warning shot. $305 million worth of longs got liquidated. Gone. Because people got greedy, high leverage, zero discipline. I told you guys in my videos in the past days saying, be ready for these 10-cent drawbacks, these 20-cent drawbacks, because guess what? When you enter with leverage, they see you. You're not invisible. They can see your entries, your exits, your stops. Never forget that. But these are generational bottoms right now, and these kind of pullbacks I will be adding to my trades. I am monitoring these very, very carefully right now, folks. Like I said, monumental generational bottoms to get along. And if you guys go in here with low leverage, take advantage of the deposit bonus. The link is in the description down below. But this could, many of you guys have open trades at $2 when we talked about it, and you guys are handsomely up, okay? Take advantage of the deposit bonuses on 2bit and on BitUnex. The links are in the description down below. But this is about to get wild because once they flush out the $305 million, they might entertain a couple more longs to liquidate. And then it's game over, folks. We are going the other way around. And I'll tell you right now, the lowest point I think, and I would be shocked if XRP even comes to these levels, is about $3. No, not $3. About $2, $3, $2.80. Okay, $2.80. I would be shocked if we see $2.80. But let me tell you, if it does come to $2.80, that thing is going to bounce so fast. It'll bounce faster than your girl. Okay. But let's continue and talk about the most important part about not having to sell your XRP, okay? You really don't, because they're pretty much telling you. Look what JP Morgan comes out and says. JP Morgan is now openly saying they want to offer loans backed by your crypto holdings. They want your XRP. Not because it's useless, but because it's the most powerful asset on the market. These digital assets can't be replicated. They've already made names for themselves. And these are, like I said, limited supply assets. Take a look at that. You already see the demand coming in. Because XRP on one side has that deep liquidity, that fast settlement, and institutional clarity. You think it's a coincidence that Schwab is launching, their Bitcoin and Ethereum custody while their CEO admits he regrets not entering sooner?
I have not bought crypto, and now I feel silly. So they've been the ones making all this money on...
Just listen to them saying that they're about to get all their customers that have crypto to bring it over to Charles Schwab because they trust us.
We also anticipate launching Bitcoin and Ether sometime soon so that our clients have access to that. And we think that'll be an acceleration of our growth, because what we hear from many of our clients are that they have 98% of their wealth here at Schwab, and they might hold 1% or 2% at some digital native firm to hold their crypto. And they really want to bring it back to Schwab because they trust us. They want it to sit alongside their other assets. And so we think we'll see some real growth when we bring those to market.
They missed the first wave, and now they're racing to grab everything they can before the gates close. Look at Goldman Sachs, Citibank. Okay, take a look at what's happening here. These are monumental moments right now that we are living through. Digital asset jobs are being posted in legal, compliance, global markets, custody. Why? Because the flood is coming. And remember what Nadine said from the DTCC.
So as one famous Bostonian once said, the institutions are coming, right? And we're starting to see progress where more certainty in the market is helping institutional adoption, such as the approvals of FIT21, other instruments, both ETH and Bitcoin, spot ETFs. Those have been super helpful in pushing the movement forward. It just shows you there's pinned up demand. It is pushing through. There's a couple of things that are a little bit different about this. This is the first time in our history where we've seen actually retail lead and institutional follow, but the certainty that there's a couple of things that are a little bit different about this. This is the first time in our history where we've seen actually retail lead.
And remember, Ripple isn't just building an infrastructure. They're launching an entire banking ecosystem. Ripple National, yeah, they're not playing around anymore, folks. We told you this was coming long time ago. While these legacy institutions are still onboarding departments and pretty much drafting their compliance rules, Ripple's already moving liquidity globally right now, testing the waters, getting ready for mass adoption and mass scale. Let that sink in for a moment. You don't have to give up your XRP. You won't need to sell it. Soon you'll be able to borrow against it. Use it as collateral, stake it, integrate it in real world assets, and never touch your principal. Because financial products will be built around XRP, not just using it, but relying on it. And there aren't many holders. I want you guys to really understand that. That's the scariest part for them. And the most powerful part for us. Every time they manipulate the markets to shake people out, it fails. Every time they try to scare you with a red candle, it only hardens me. Okay? So remember, when you know what's ahead, you got nothing to worry about. So I'll say this one more time, loud and clear. If a $3.26 now XRP, rattles you, like, for what? Like, you got to understand, like, 10, 20, 30, it's going to $100, it's going to happen. It's not a dream. It's a blueprint. And the institutions are confirming it day by day. And do not get distracted by the noise, ladies and gentlemen, at all. Okay? Please do not get distracted. You heard Rick saying he missed out. He regrets it. Not getting in a long time ago. And there's going to be many other intelligent individuals that are going to do the same thing. When I did private banking, I told every single one of them every single day about crypto. I would not shut up. And I'll still just never forget this conversation that I had in one of our morning meetings. I always talk about Bitcoin with my advisors. And it's like, they tell me, oh, BlackRock isn't getting into it. Vanguard's not getting into it. So why should we? It's like, are you kidding me? Oh my God, I'll never forget that, And this individual was managing over $100 million, under management. And it just blows my mind that they can't see this stuff. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, just remember, once in a lifetime opportunity that humans were able to obtain and accumulate an asset before the financial institutions were onboarded. Okay? Understand the importance of that. And do not worry about the value of XRP. You are running out of time. I know this time next year, July 23, 2026, after the yacht party, we're going to be nowhere near these levels. So why are you concerned or worried about short-term gratification? And I'll tell you one thing right now. If you've accumulated enough, the wealth is coming. And when that wealth comes, I'll tell you, your life is not dramatically going to change. It might relieve some stress, but money doesn't change anything. I want to make that very clear. Yeah, you might want to buy a nice car. Okay, cool. Now you got that car. Now what? Are you going to just keep feeding your gratification? It's about who you have around you. That's it. You could have $1 million and have no one to spend it with. I'll rather, you know what I mean? Folks, just worry about accumulating and building a positive circle around you. That's it. And that's all you got to worry about. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about never selling your XRP. Listen, if you guys are selling very early, I haven't sold anything yet. And I don't plan on selling yet, regardless of if you do not need the money right away, if you do not have an objective for the profits that you're going to take, don't take it out. Don't take it out. We are so early. And I know many of you guys will regret it. And you know what? I'll maybe make a video on this after. I'm actually like not very... I already knew this was going to happen, but I was paying in XRP. So I was paying my rent in XRP when XRP was at like 50 cents last year. And I paid a lot. But I already knew this was going to happen. I kind of I already knew. I was going to be like, one day it'll be fine. But at the end of the day, the individual that I was paying the rent to, I am very happy with them in terms of having these gains. I knew this individual was going to make these gains. But again, it feels good on my end. I was keep accumulating at the time, but it was a lot of XRP. It was about like over, I think in total I've sent over 20,000 XRP to that rent. But do I regret it? No, not really, because I was also accumulating when I was sending it out because I knew how big this was, okay? Some of you guys may say, why were you paying an XRP? It was just easier for me. Okay, it was just easier for me. But that is one story. I'll give you guys the breakdown of how much the rent was, how much, pretty much how much the rent is now worth on a monthly basis. It's pretty crazy stuff. But accumulate. You guys are going to regret not getting in at these prices. So with that being said, we'll be back with another video.
Dream small, but we had the stars in mind. While they chased hype, we studied time. In the noise we found the signal. Brad knew just what to do. Now XRP hums like jazz, running smooth and true. Money's changing, systems bend. Ripple flow into the end. Truth is quiet, bold and deep. We salute the ones who lose no sleep. Salute to the minds that built this chain. Salute, salute through the trials, through the pain. Salute, salute to the calm, to the wise. 100 in our eyes. Bitcoin maxis yell on stage, stuck in loops they call belief, while XRPL just clears the way. No delay, no grief. They hoard coins like dusty gold, but we got utility in every fold. The future ain't loud, it's steady breathing. Real ones know what's worth believing. It ain't hype, it's code and soul. We salute the ones who see the whole. Salute to the builders, to the flow. Salute, salute where the real ones choose to go. Salute, salute to the heart, to the plan. Salute, XRP will lead the land. Value don't lie, and truth don't shake. Let the whole world break, we remake. Strategic reserve, written in stars. XRP gonna take us far. So here's to the signal, clear and bright. To the dreamers who held on tight. No matter the storm, no matter the fight. Salute, we rise with the light.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.